What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Was it Thursday now? Yeah, happy Thursday to you all, and welcome to another live beer review. Today we're going to be taking a look at a beer from Drekker Brewing Company. Of course, you guys know by now, but I've reviewed a good amount of beers from Drekker. They're up in Fargo, North Dakota, and a lot of them have been sours. I'm going to be completely honest with that. I think like 95% of the beers I've reviewed from them have been fruited sours, and we got a little bit of a different one today because we got a double IPA from them called the Metaphase. It's a double dry hop, double IPA brewed with Citra and Nelson Sauvin hops. And looking here, of course, they kind of give you an idea of what kind of grain they used, of course, the hops and everything like that. Of course, house IPA yeast they use. But I thought this can art when I bought it was absolutely fantastic. And this beer is available at the brewery right now, to be exact. I believe it's out in distribution as well. But yeah, this is I think it's gonna be a pretty solid IPA just because Citra and Nelson Sauvin is a kind of a pretty good combination if you're looking for more of like a drier kind of New England IPA. Of course, with the kind of stuff they in there use flaked oats to give it a nice pillowy soft mouthfeel, but then it kind of bringing in some nice citrus notes from the Citra, and then kind of a little bit of tropical fruit, but also with the Nelson Sauvin bringing in some like almost those champagne-y kind of grape flavors in there as well. I would probably compare it being like a Sauvignon Blanc kind of flavor in there as well with that, how that Nelson works. I don't know. It's a very, very interesting hop, so I'm really curious to see what this one's going to be like. I think having that kind of grapey, like champagne-y kind of flavor in there, along with a little bit of tropical fruit and citrus, I think is going to be a really, really nice flavor combination. And just, I love myself a nice, good, hazy IPA, and of course, a lot of the stuff that I've had from Drekker when it comes to their IPAs have been just as good as their sours to me. So let's crack this thing open and see what we get on the nose with this guy, because I'm pretty stoked. If I didn't mention before, it's an 8.2% ABV, so I would not consider this beer sessionable one bit. But I think it's time for it to crack this thing open and see what we get on the nose. So let's see here. Oh yeah, right off the bat, you're getting those like grapey, almost champagne-y kind of notes coming through. Definitely getting some like grapefruit and orange kind of notes as well. I wouldn't consider it a posh IPA, Ian. With it being having that that hops is very, very. I believe Nelson Sauvin was originated out of Australia, if I remember correctly, because I don't know if it's Australia or New Zealand. It's definitely a very, very specific flavor profile that hops brings off, and I think it's a really nice combination to add into an IPA just to kind of give off some different flavors. It actually complements tropical fruit flavors really well. So with this being that kind of IPA, I think it's going to be absolutely delicious. And right off the bat, like I said before, getting the citrus, getting that almost champagne-y grape kind of note in there. Yeah, I think this is going to be absolutely stellar. So I'll be drinking this out of my Heart of the North glass this afternoon. And let's pour this thing and see what it's all about. I'm expecting this to be nice and hazy, which is exactly what we're getting. A decent amount of carbonation right from the first pour. But that's okay. It's kind of settling down a little bit. But it has like a nice kind of almost, I wouldn't say orange juicy, but definitely has like that nice orangish kind of color to it. I know, I understand. But yeah, look at that. That just looks like an absolutely delicious hazy IPA. Definitely the head kind of creeped down towards the end. Okay, so yeah, it's a New Zealand hops face made. Yeah, so I was in the area, but yeah, look at that. That just looks absolutely delicious. Definitely looks like a nice hazy IPA. Still getting a lot of those like grape-like flavors. Getting a lot of like orange and grapefruity citrusiness coming through. I believe with the oats in there that they use, it's going to be a nice pillowy soft mouthfeel, which using Nelson Sauvin, it also leaves like a dry finish in there as well, so I'm really curious to have that kind of oat, kind of pillowy soft mouthfeel that gives you, plus that kind of dry finish as well is going to kind of mingle together, so I'm pretty stoked to see what they've done with this one. So let's give this guy a try and see what it's all about. So cheers everybody, happy Thursday. Oh yeah. Right up front, when I first felt it hit my lips, I instantly knew it was going to be a really, really soft mouthfeel. Exactly what I'm getting. Very, very strong when it comes to getting a lot of tropical fruit. To me, it's a bit more of a pineapple, papaya kind of feel. It's definitely really, really fruity. The dryness definitely comes in right at the end with that kind of almost like champagne grape kind of flavor. That kind of just is very, very subtle at the end. It's not too overwhelming. The dry finish is not overpowering as well. It's not like it instantly dries out your mouth. Very, very nice, juicy, pillowy, soft mouthfeel. And this is absolutely fantastic. This is another kind of style of an IPA that I absolutely love. Of course, I love my juicy IPAs, and this is definitely up there with having that very, very juicy upfront mouthfeel. With that nice dry finish is definitely a nice change of pace for my normal juicy IPA kind of feel. With it being a double dry hop situation, of course, you're getting a lot of those hoppy flavors coming through. So then you're getting all those tropical fruit flavors and citrus flavors that hit you right in the face. Of course, that I'm assuming they used a little bit less of the Nelson Sauvin and kind of let a lot of that Citra come through. But to be honest, those predominant flavors are more of those tropical fruit notes that may get a little bit from the Citra, but also the Nelson Sauvin definitely brings in some tropical fruit notes as well. But I think when it comes to balance, this thing is absolutely balanced. It's not too overwhelming. It's not really hoppy at all. You're getting most of those natural tropical fruit flavors that those hops bring off when it comes to aromas and flavors and all that kind of stuff. And it's pretty outstanding. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. It's an absolutely delicious double dry hop, double IPA. I just want to take another sip. Hold on. Oh, yeah, that was good. That is good. Let's go over here to Untapped. Of course, we'll read the description of this guy first, and then we can kind of look and see what we can find a similar beer to this one if you can't get your hands on this Metaphase from Drekker. So, as a description, of course, it says Nelson Sauvin and Citra hops, and it says Metaphase is brewed with oats and spelt for fruity, pillowy texture, then double dry hop with a pile of Citra and Nelson Sauvin. This killer hop combo leads to some luscious notes of orange, pineapple, papaya, and white grape with a beautifully dry finish. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory when it comes to what flavors you're getting. Of course, I think it kind of just narrows it down to the description of this beer exactly to what flavors you're getting. But looking over here at the similar beers list, let's see if we can try to find one here. Let's see. So there's 2 beers on this list that are from Drekker. I'm not really going to suggest another Drekker beer. Even though Drekker's distribution has gotten really, really good to being able to find their stuff pretty much anywhere nowadays, there might be some places near you that you may not be able to get your hands on their stuff. So let's see what they got here. We got one here from Martin House Brewing Company called Utah Get Me 2, which is a 10% double IPA. This one looks like it's more of like, to me, this seems like more of the West Coast style IPA. It doesn't really give much of a idea of what kind of hops they use and all that kind of stuff, but Martin House definitely makes some good beers. Let's see, we got one here from Celestial Beer Works, which, let's see, this one looks like it's pretty crazy. So this is called the Canamorphs, the Cove Flounders. That's a pretty funny name. 8.5%. Double haze with Strata, Raku, and Idaho 7 hops, and Mosaic Incognito, which is interesting. So that one kind of brings in like aromas of honeysuckle and kind of giving you pina colada kind of flavors with like heavy pineapple and all kind of stuff. So I don't know if I consider this one to be up there, just because that's going to be more tropical fruit when you still get that kind of Sauvignon Blanc grape flavor with this one. So I don't really think I'd choose that one. But we got here from a pretty well-known brewery with Toppling Goliath called the Soul Hunter, which is a 7.8% double IPA. Let's see. Passion fruit, citrus, tropical berries. Maybe. Yeah, I would say maybe you might get kind of close with this one. So the Soul Hunter is definitely an option we can put on there. So if you want to get something with a similar kind of flavor profile, the Soul Hunter from Toppling Goliath may be an option for you. Maybe a little bit of a difference to it, but I think with that kind of nice citrus and tropical fruit, maybe the berry notes can kind of give you similar profiles of like the grape kind of flavors. But let's look at my beer history and see. So we're going to be looking at here an IPA Imperial Double New England Hazy. So IPA, go to your kind of beer history. So Imperial Double New England Hazy, over 104 beers that I checked in with that one. So let's see what we can find here. For local people, to me, of course, Microphone probably makes some beers like that. I had the the special sauce Mosaic recently that was pretty damn good, but it's not going to give that kind of flavor to it. But they probably make some nice IPAs like this. Of course, Pig Minds I would put up there. Anybody on the East Coast, Fifth Frame probably has something like this. Down in Texas, you got Spindle Tap. Who else? Let's see. Icarus Brewing, Three Sons, Anchorage. Another local one, Elmhurst Brewing Company. What else? Adroit Theory definitely probably has some IPAs exactly like this. Black Stack Brewing. Weld Works, Jackie O's. Who else do we got? Mountains Walking. Celestial Beer Works is on that list. KCBC, King County Brewers Collective. Of course, Toppling Goliath is up there with their King Sue. That might actually be pretty similar, even that's going to definitely be more of a hoppy in your face due to it having like over 100 IBUs. We got Turning Point, we got Revision. Let's see. Destination Unknown, Short Fuse for people in Illinois. Noon Whistle for people in Illinois. Wild Leap, Listerman for people in Ohio. There's a bunch of breweries out there that are known for making this kind of style. So you kind of just look around. If you're interested in this kind of style of IPA, there are so many different breweries that are kind of just taking advantage of like a nice double New England hazy IPA, just that's full juiciness and just overall just perfect for like a warmer day. But you might just have to search around. Other than trying to find this exact beer, even though it's available right now, you may have a good chance of finding it. If you have a decent liquor store or bottle shop near you, you might be able to find them at that liquor store or bottle shop if they have Drekker there. Most likely, if they do carry Drekker, this is a one that's most likely going to be available right now. Or you can even go over to the brewery right now and have it on tap, which I think is going to be the best option just because that's the purest flavor. You're going to get it right out of the keg. So, we read the description. Let's see if there's anybody on my friends list who checked this one in. Let's see. We got a couple people here, but also we just got my dad. So, before we read what he checked it in as, let's see what they show for their ratings on this guy. So, like I stated before, 8.2% ABV. So, right off the bat, would not consider this sessionable. This is definitely one that's going to creep up on you after a while if you decide to have maybe more than one. Of course, with over 5,403 ratings, this one has an average rating of 4.19 out of 5, which is pretty damn good. Anything that has up and above 4 average is a pretty damn good beer. So, of course, looking back to when my dad checked this one in, he purchased it off Tavour, which is how we get ours. When I purchase beer off Tavour, I usually get two, one for me, one for my father, just because he likes craft beer as much as I do. Oh, I thought a burp was coming. Well, let's see. And he gave it a 4 out of 5, so that's a pretty good rating for him. A lot of the times when he drinks an IPA, since he likes IPAs as much as I do, if it's like your normal solid like IPA, he's going to give it an average 3.75 out of 5 rating on Untappd. But him giving it a 4, that's a pretty damn good rating. So let's look here and see what the global ratings of people are saying about this one. So this guy gave it a 4 out of 5, purchased at the Barrel House, which is a location in Dayton, Ohio. Let's see, this person gave it a 4 out of 5. We got a 4.25 out of 5, purchased at the Eddie's Ale House and Eatery, which is in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. So we got Ohio, Wisconsin. This person checked it in, didn't get a rating, but they purchased it at the Early Birds Bottle Shop, which is in, how the hell do you say that one? It's in Virginia, Pocosun? I don't even know if I'm saying that right. That's just a crazy sounding name for a town, but that's in Virginia. What else we got here? We got a 4.25 purchased at Fisher Foods in Fulton, which is in Ohio as well. It's one of those like more of like your boutique kind of grocery stores that carry craft beer. We got another 4.25 purchased at the Hop Central Brewery and Tap Room, which is in Chandler, Arizona. So I wonder if it's kind of like they make their own stuff, but they also serve stuff from other breweries. It looks like they're a beer garden and a wine bar as well. So they must have a bunch of variety over there. Let's see. We got another 4.25, another 4.25, 3.75, 3.75 saying sweeter. Another 4.25 here from Fisher Foods. Let's see. A 4.5 purchased at the Southside Cellar, which is in Fort Worth, Texas. So we got Texas, we got Ohio, we got Virginia. So a bunch of places are having this one for availability. Of course, let's do two more. This guy gave it a 4.25 out of 5, purchased at Drekker Brewing Company, so he purchased it right at Drekker. And the last one we got, actually, let's look at this one. It's the other one. We got a 4 out of 5 here, purchased at the One Stop Beverage Shop in Avon, Ohio. So a couple Ohio locations have this available right now, so that's pretty damn cool. If you're in Ohio and possibly want to pick this one up, this may be available near you. Or, of course, like I mentioned before, you could always go over to your local liquor store or bottle shop and see if they even have anything from Drekker, because if they don't, they might have a distributor near them who can pick their stuff up, and they'll always bring it in just because they always want to kind of change the rotation of different breweries in different styles of beer that they have on their shelves. So it's always good to kind of talk to the person who does the purchasing at your local liquor store or bottle shop, just because there's countless options of new stuff you can get in. So other than that, let's start trying to figure out what we're going to be doing for ratings over here on our end with this guy. So let me take one more sip. Oh, that's a great mouthfeel. Let me give it a little stir, because this is going to be all pretty much sediment at the bottom. Oh, yeah. But that's fine. That's my favorite stuff. And, of course, the first thing we like to look at is can art. And holy crap, this can art is crazy. So right here, of course, it looks like a skull that's been split in two with the brain and everything still inside. So splitting the skull, you got the eyes, you got the brain, you got kind of that like blood squirting out of its nose cavity and all that kind of stuff. A lot of detail. I love that almost scratch kind of look of the Metaphase part of it right there. It almost like a scratched on kind of font. Love the splatter colors in the background. Of course, you got the Metaphase right there as well. But just, there's so much detail in this can art. It's kind of outrageous, and it's just definitely something that automatically would catch your attention if you saw it at a liquor store or bottle shop, just because it's so out there. With any of the normal stuff that you would see. Of course, Drekker is really well known for doing stuff like that, so I can always give Drekker a lot of props for what they decided to do for their can art anyways. So to me, I think this beer is absolutely marketed fantastic. You got the normal stuff that you would normally see from Drekker when it comes to their logo up front, and then talk about the grain and all that kind of stuff, the hops and the yeast they use in there. That's a normal kind of thing you expect to see from Drekker. But this one is fantastic. Definitely one of the better ones from Drekker I've seen in a while. So I'm going to give this a solid 5 out of 5. I really, really do enjoy this. This is exactly what I look for when it comes to how much detail that I want on some can art. So easy 5 out of 5 for me with that one. So let's see here. If I got this beer in a flight over at Drekker Brewing Company right now, because it's still available over there, would I get another one? Abso-freaking-lutely. Absolutely. This is stellar. This is definitely one of the better IPAs I think I've had from Drekker Brewing Company. I know I've had a few, not really a crazy amount, but I've had enough to where I think this is probably one of the better ones that I've had for them, to be completely honest. So if you're able to get your hands on this Metaphase from Drekker Brewing Company, I would highly, highly recommend it, because it's, like I stated, it's probably one of the better IPAs I've had from them. So big shout outs to the team over at Drekker for coming out with this one. Of course, I think this is like a yearly release they do on this one, so it's in constant rotation, so you don't have to worry about it not coming back. But with all that being said, what is my final rating on this beer going to be? Let's see. Let's see here. See, I love the juicy mouthfeel. I love the just in-your-face citrusy tropical fruit. That dry finish is really nice. This is a tough one. Because I want to give it it's going to get a really good rating. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just not sure what to kind of narrow it down to. To be honest, I think I'm going to give it a very, very solid, almost a 9, but I think I'm going to sit it at 8.75 out of 10. Really, really good. If you can get your hands on this one, I would highly, highly recommend it. Of course, there's not really any booziness, like I don't know if I stated that already, so you don't have to worry about crazy like booziness when it comes to this one, but I think if you're a fan of just a nice, hoppy, juicy mouthfeel, loads of tropical fruit and citrus, having that almost nice dry finish at the end, this is definitely going to be one to seek out for sure. So, again, big shout outs to Drekker Brewing Company for coming out with this one again. This is a absolutely stellar beer. So, with that being said, I think that's pretty much what I have for you guys today. So, thank you everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are awesome. If you haven't yet, please hit that like button. It would help me out a lot. Also, if you're new to the channel and like what you see, make sure you hit that subscribe button along with that notification bell. It'll let you know whenever I go live doing another review. Let's see here. I don't think I have a review planned for tomorrow. just because I have some stuff going on, and most likely I'll have to work later in the day. So around the time I'd be doing a review is when I'm going into work. So I don't think I'm going to have a review for tomorrow for you guys. But I will definitely have a couple for this weekend, so keep an eye out for those. But let's see here. Of course, you can shoot me a follow on all my social media platforms. Of course, we got my Instagram where you'll see what I'm beer reviewing that day, plus a little behind-the-scenes stuff that's going on in the brewery. So if you want to shoot me a follow on Instagram to see a little behind-the-scenes stuff, plus all the stuff that I do when it comes to reviewing and brewery stuff, shoot me a follow there. Of course, you can shoot me a friend request on Untapped itself. You guys hear me talk about Untapped all the time. I think it's an absolutely fantastic platform. I like to call it Facebook for beer drinkers because that's pretty much what it is. You can check in beers, get badges, all kind of stuff. It's just really, really cool platform. Again, you could use it on your computer and your phone too. So it's very versatile. So, and last but not least, if you want to support me, the best way I always recommend to do so is to get yourself over to the Patreon, because it helps me get more money in my hands to where I can buy more beer and do more reviews for you guys, and also I can get more beers in and do more giveaways and all that kind of stuff, working with different content creators, plus working with different breweries to kind of do more giveaways. And because I do monthly 4-pack giveaways usually of Illinois exclusive craft beer, plus maybe some more different style of giveaways down the road. But of course, with that, once that starts getting a little bit more traffic, I'm working on getting a Discord started, merch, glassware, coasters, koozies, all that kind of stuff I'm in the works of possibly doing. So if you want to take advantage of all that stuff, the best way to do so is over at the Patreon, because it helps get the ball moving and everything. So if you want to support me, that is the best way to do so. But other than that, I think that is pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you everybody again for hanging out today. You guys are awesome. Thank you everybody in the chat for coming in. You guys are fantastic. Thank you everybody on the replay as well. You guys are cool and just great people to take time out of your day to watch my stuff. And I'm going to end this like I always do before we get the hell out of here. If you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And I'll see you all next time. Cheers.